Welcome to Winston-Salem in Business. And now your host, Tracy Meisner.
Hi, my name is Tracy Meisner, and I am here with Lisa Micheels. And I did pronounce that correctly?
You did.
All right. From Brown Creative. And this is Winston-Salem in Business. It's a video podcast dedicated and that drives deep into the people that work, live, and play in Winston-Salem. So let's get started. So I met you on Alignable, and you're from Brown Creative. What is Brown Creative?
Brown Creative Group is a digital marketing agency. So my little tagline is, if you want to get found, call Brown. So we help people get found online
Excellent.
to generate inbound business.
Okay. So who is your client?
We focus a lot on home services, which means if you're a plumber, a builder, an electrician, a garage door company, anybody that works in the home doing repairs or fixing or building, that is our prime customer.
Okay.
Now, we also help health spas, dentist offices, attorney offices. We work with all industries, and we do really, really well. So we have a dentist office that has 4 locations, and they're killing it with their inbound marketing. We have a spa that started from nothing and has grown to buy their own building and remodel, and they're doing great with our program. So.
Wow. So how long is Brown Creative doing this?
Neil started Brown Creative Group 20 years ago.
Wow. That was kind of before...
It was a lot of graphic arts to begin with. He built ads and things like that. And then as the internet grew and websites became more prominent, then he just continued to educate himself on what works, what doesn't work. And the agency has grown as the industry has grown.
Right. So how did you come to join them, and when did you join Brown Creative?
I came on board with Brown Creative in 2018.
Okay.
Neil and myself had a mutual friend. And so when I left the agency I was at, she was like, you really got to meet Neil. And I did, and we hit it off really well. The main thing that really hit home with me for Neil, working with Neil, is that I'm very relationship driven. So when I work with a client, they're not just a number. I am vested in their success. And that's how Neil works. And that was really what drew me to him, because there was 2 or 3 offers on the table, but he was the one that had the same business model mindset that I have. He has a couple clients that he's had since the beginning of his company. And if you know anything about digital marketing, people change digital marketers like they change their shoes. I mean, it's just constant, well, you're not doing this for me, I'm going to try somebody else. But what we do is, if it's not working, we make it work.
Okay.
So we continue to dig, we continue to consult, we continue to work with the client and the tool to make them work together.
Wow. So what is your role in this business? Are you sales driven, marketing, like what?
Well, we function like a boutique agency, but there's about 8 of us on staff.
Okay.
So I am business growth development. So I do some marketing, I do some sales, but I'm mainly just working with the customers. I work with like the Home Builders Association, so I give back at that level because I volunteer. I'm the chairperson for a committee, and so I volunteer at that level. And then I just do a lot of networking to help the world know what Brown does, and then people just come to us.
Gotcha.
You know.
All right. How did Brown Creative deal with COVID, and what changes have you all made coming out of COVID?
Well, COVID, because our focus is home services, it really didn't make a difference in us. It didn't hurt us. We had 2 clients that it hit pretty hard, and what we did was we adjusted their fees. We adjusted what we're doing for them as they rode out COVID. And then once we got on the back side of it, We adjusted their campaigns and put them back soaring big, so to speak. But most of our clients were home services, and they couldn't deal with all the leads that were coming to them. So
Right.
it really didn't affect us that much.
Wow. It's nice to hear a business success story with COVID. With so many businesses going virtual, how does Brown Creative fit into the virtual world or brick and mortar location?
That's a great question. So what we did just as COVID was starting was we decided we were going nationwide. After contractors, plumbers, electricians, things of that nature. So that all fit together because we no longer focused on the fact that we were local to Winston-Salem. We started marketing ourselves all over the country. I do a lot of speed networking groups in the construction industry. When you join the HBA, you're also part of the state and national HBA, so we have a lot of ways we can reach out to people across the country. So we are transitioning into that. What we did learn in 22 is that, what I learned in 22 is I really like this.
Right.
Much better than the screen in front of me. So I'm going to go more to a balance in 23. We're going to continue to market ourselves across the country, but I'm going to also put a little more effort toward the face-to-face stuff because it just feeds me.
Yeah, I totally get it. Do you have clients that you meet in your location, or do you go to them, or how, or do you have clients that you don't even meet, you just do everything online?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have, I have clients in Maryland and Iowa and Tennessee, places outside of this area that I meet virtually.
Okay.
I have clients that are not overly tech savvy and they come to the office every time they want to chat.
Okay.
I have other clients who, there's 6 or 7 of them that make decisions and want to know, so I go to them.
Okay.
So it really just depends. That really speaks to what we're all about. We make what we do fit the client.
Okay.
They're the boss.
All right. What changes have you seen in the digital marketing industry in the past 2 years?
A lot of frustration with Facebook.
I get that. What is the big frustration?
They just change things a lot. Facebook, at the corporate level, at the algorithm functionality level of how the back end works, is very frustrating to clients who are DIY. They like to do it themselves. Or clients that think they understand. They want to understand how the algorithm works, but the algorithm's always changing.
Right.
So Facebook has frustrated a lot of people. I kind of meant that as a joke, but it's true. Hopefully now that they're working on this meta thing, they'll settle somewhere with the algorithm and the way the functionality works on the back end. But I forever have a client call me and say, well, this was here yesterday. This tool, this button that I always go and push was there. It's gone. And it's just the way it works sometimes. So that's one of the things that changed. It's just more and more, the client becomes more educated.
Okay.
So when we started this, the clients had no understanding of how Google worked and Facebook worked, but the more it becomes part of everyday life, I have a more educated client, which is great because then we can strategize much more easily.
Okay. That makes sense. Do you guys have a perfect client? Like, what would be the client that you're like, oh, we're going to sign this person?
Well, there's a couple of different personas that work for that, but let's say one of our perfect clients is a plumbing company.
Okay.
They got 20 trucks.
Okay.
Their focus is, I got to keep these trucks busy. I got to keep these guys moving, keep them on the road with service calls and installs and new builds and all the things that make up their business. That's a perfect client for us because
Okay.
the more you need, the more we get to work and provide.
Okay.
Where we run into a challenge is if it's a 2 or 3 man operation and we will either generate more leads than they can handle, or their budget is so small they can't put enough into it to generate the leads they need. And so it's a very delicate balance between enough leads and enough, balancing out that lead to dollar ratio. Our goal with every client is to be transition into an investment, a measurable investment in 3 to 6 months.
Okay. What services, if you had to make a list, a menu of services, what services do you offer? Or maybe a service that you didn't offer that you now offer in 2022 and 2023?
Let's see here. Well, the services we offer, and if any of them come to mind that's new, I'll do it that way. So we do web design.
Okay.
So we build websites, whether they're 10-page websites or 80-page websites, depending on what the company is, we do it all.
Okay.
So we have one client that we put 11 websites inside of one.
Okay.
Because just the makeup of it was an investment company. To a small attorney's office who had an 8-page website. We do whatever the client needs, but we can build really big websites or small. We also do e-commerce.
Okay.
So we can do that. Then the next thing that we offer is marketing services. And what we really like to do is get someone on board with the full blueprint that we offer, because a client will come to us and they'll say, I need SEO. I really want you to help me with my SEO. Well, SEO takes a really long time if you start at zero to gain traction.
Right.
Because you got to build authority with Google, you have to, get a lot of stuff moving, link building, citations. There's so much that goes into it that what we tell that client is, let's do a paid campaign alongside of it. That way, while the SEO is growing, the paid is making you money to pay for it. Because the paid has an immediate return on your investment.
Okay.
You run an ad on Google, you get a phone call, you go out, do the estimate, you close the deal.
Right.
So that's our perfect service combination. Now, we do have smaller folks come to us who just can't do that in the moment, and we'll put together a package that's just a paid product to where they're generating dollars, and then in 6 months we add the SEO.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that makes perfect sense. Describe why a company would reject your services, and how do you overcome that rejection? And in the second part, can you describe a situation where a company rejected your services and then became a working client?
Ooh, okay. That's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So why would someone reject our services?
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, it's cost.
Okay.
It's that you have this nation is so full of entrepreneurs, and everybody wants to go into business for themselves. And there's a difference between a self-employed person and an entrepreneur, a DBA and a small business.
Right.
And so we get a ton of people reaching out to us who don't even have websites yet, and they want to do this big marketing campaign, but they don't understand the costs that are involved.
Right.
Or the participation that they have to put forth.
Right.
To make it happen. We can't read minds, and so that's one of that whole cost, time investment piece is where a lot of the smaller businesses don't necessarily come on board. And I will say the way I handle that is I have education videos that I send them, DIY videos. You do it yourself. When you get to a certain level, come see me. We'll make it work for you.
Okay.
So that's how if those guys say no.
Okay.
Bigger companies, if they say no, A lot of times it will be a niche type of thing, to where they may run into an agency that specializes in their niche.
Ah, gotcha.
And so they'll choose a niche agency versus someone that may not be in their niche.
Okay.
And we realized totally by experience that our niche is construction, home
Okay.
services. And so that's why we end up with a lot of folks like that and success at that level.
Gotcha. Do you have a story that you could share with us that maybe a company said, yeah, no, you're not our company, and then maybe a year later they come knocking back?
Oh my goodness. Yes. I have a couple that way. So I have one client that I signed recently this year that I had actually been trying to get their digital business for 5 years.
Wow.
And they chose 3 other companies over those years over us. And I say me because I was with one agency and then went to another agency, but they still chose somebody else.
Okay.
And but we remained friends. I did their print stuff, so we also do postcard mailings, brochure design, and stuff like that. So they always gave me their print business, but they wouldn't give me their digital business.
Gotcha.
And so finally, I got a call, and the client said, "I think we're ready. Come talk to us." And I came and I did a presentation, and they said yes. And oh my goodness, they are just elated with the way our team worked with them. So it took a little while. And actually, the holdup was price all along.
Yep.
And once she realized you get what you pay for, she is thrilled with the services.
That there's so many parallels between what you guys are doing. You guys are doing at a much higher level than what I'm doing, but same things.
Yep.
Exact same things. What's the best part about having your business located in Winston-Salem?
Oh, Winston-Salem is a big small town. I just love Winston. You have a lot of, we have tons of technology. We have tons of very smart people here. The medical world, it's a very strong economy, but when you hang out, you go to networking events, you even just walk into someone's business to talk to them, it's very casual and comfortable. It's not stuffy and just, I don't know, it's just a really great place to work and do business. And the atmosphere and the mentality of the people who live and work here fit this. It's like people gravitate here that want to function at that level, and those who want a more city type, they go to Raleigh, so to speak, or Charlotte.
That makes sense. Describe for me, in one word, Brown Creative.
Relationship.
I like that. Last question. What do you see as Brown Creative's biggest challenge in 2023? And how will you guys deal with it?
My biggest challenge, I believe, at my level, speaking at the consumer marketing sales level, is busy people. Breaking through the chaos of people running their business to get them to slow down long enough to actually hear what I have to say, because I'm here to help you.
Excellent. Well, folks, that's our show. We certainly hope that you've learned a little bit more about Brown Creative. But do stay tuned, because we have one other thing up my sleeve. It's called Either Or. So, this is the fun part. Mac or PC?
Oh, PC.
iPhone or Android?
Android.
Steak or lobster?
Good lobster. It's easy to get bad lobster.
Yeah. Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Winter or summer?
Oh, summer.
Fall or spring?
Spring.
Logic or emotion?
Ooh. At what level? Probably emotion.
Sports car or pickup truck?
Sports car.
Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Red or white?
Red.
Beer, wine, or whiskey?
Wine.
Trade Street or 4th Street?
4th Street.
Favorite Winston-Salem restaurant?
I don't need that much. Benny's Italian Pizzeria on Peters Creek Parkway.
Favorite thing to do in Winston-Salem?
Go to wineries. Listen to live music.
Last question. Favorite podcast host?
Tracy.
Excellent. That's our show. Thank you for joining us. We hope you learned a little something. I certainly did. How can we reach Brown Creative?
Brown Creative, you can reach me at Lisa at Brown Creative Group. Go to the website, browncreativegroup.com, or that would be the 2 best ways.
Okay, you heard it here, folks. That's our show. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.